Hello, my friends, and welcome back to The Speaking Time. I'm John. Today, we are going to talk about something very important, something very common, something almost every English learner feels. Fear. Not fear of danger, not fear of pain, but fear of speaking English. The fear of making mistakes. This fear is quiet. It lives inside your mind. It does not shout, but it stops you. Many learners listen to English every day. They understand podcasts, they understand videos, they read articles. But when it is time to speak, their voice becomes small, their mind becomes empty, their body becomes tense. You want to speak, but something holds you back. You think, what if I say it wrong? What if my grammar is bad? What if my pronunciation sounds strange? What if people judge me? These thoughts feel heavy. If you feel this way, I want you to know something clearly. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not bad at English. You are human. Fear of mistakes is one of the most natural feelings in language learning. Today, we will not fight this fear. We will understand it. We will look at it calmly, and we will slowly change our relationship with it. Let's begin with something very important. Mistakes are not the enemy. Fear is the enemy. Mistakes are normal. Mistakes are expected. Mistakes are necessary. Without mistakes, learning cannot happen. Think about a child learning to speak. The child makes mistakes every day. Wrong words, wrong sounds, wrong sentences. The child says things that make no sense. But no one laughs. No one says, "You are embarrassing." No one says, "Stop talking until you are perfect." Why? Because mistakes mean growth. But when adults learn English, something changes. Adults want control. Adults want correctness. Adults want to protect their image. Adults think, if I speak, I must be correct. This belief creates pressure. Pressure creates fear. Fear creates silence. Silence stops progress. So the first thing we do today is change the meaning of mistakes. A mistake is not failure. A mistake is information. It shows your brain what needs adjustment. It shows what needs more time. When you make a mistake, your brain learns faster, not slower. This is science. The brain changes when it notices errors. This is how learning works. So, when you avoid mistakes, you avoid learning. Let that sink in. Now let's talk about judgment. Many learners are afraid because they think people are watching them. They imagine people listening carefully, waiting to catch a mistake. But in reality, most people are not thinking about you. They are thinking about themselves, their own problems, their own fears. And even if someone notices your mistake, it does not define you. A mistake does not mean you are stupid, it means you are learning. Now let me say something very important. Communication is more important than correctness. If people understand your message, you succeeded. Fluency is not about perfect grammar. Fluency is about comfort. Fluency is about flow. Fluency is about not stopping every second to think. This year, we focus on meaning, not perfection. Perfection can wait. Now let's talk about confidence. Many learners say, "I will speak when I feel confident." But confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes after action. Confidence is built by experience. You speak once, nothing bad happens. you speak again. Slowly, confidence grows. Confidence is not something you wait for, it is something you build. Now let's talk about small steps. You do not need to speak for 5 minutes. You do not need long sentences. One sentence is enough. Even one word is enough. If you say yes, if you say, I understand, if you say, I think so, that is speaking. Do not underestimate small actions. Small actions repeated every day change identity. And identity is powerful. If you see yourself as someone who cannot speak English, your brain will protect that identity. But if you see yourself as someone who is practicing English, mistakes become normal. Say this quietly in your mind. I am a learner. Learners are allowed to make mistakes. Now let's talk about pronunciation. Many learners are afraid of their accent. They think, my accent is bad, my pronunciation is ugly. Let me tell you something honest. Accent is not the problem. Fear of accent is the problem. Accent means you learned another language. Accent means effort. Accent is not a weakness, it is proof of courage. There is no perfect accent. Even native speakers have different accents. Clarity matters more than accent. If people understand you, your accent is good enough. Now let's talk about silence. Silence is not failure. Sometimes your brain needs time. Pausing is thinking. Thinking is learning. Slow speaking is strong speaking. Take your time. Rushing creates more mistakes. Calm creates clarity. Now let's talk about comparison. Many learners compare themselves to others. They say, she speaks better than me. He learned faster than me. Comparison creates suffering. Everyone has a different journey, different time, different exposure, different life. Compare yourself only to your past self. Are you listening more than before? Are you understanding more than before? That is progress. Now let's talk about fear again. Fear is not something you remove. Fear is something you walk with. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is action with fear. When you speak even with fear, fear loses power. Fear grows when you avoid. Fear shrinks when you act. This is very important. Avoidance feeds fear. Action weakens fear. Now let's talk about practice. Practice does not mean studying hard. Practice means using English in real life. Simple English, imperfect English, English that belongs to you. You do not need perfect sentences. You need real ones. This year, your English does not need to be impressive. It needs to be alive. Now let's talk about bad days. Bad days will come. Days when you feel tired. Days when you feel stupid. Days when nothing feels better. On bad days, do less, but do something. One sentence is enough. 1 minute is enough. Do not stop. If you stop completely, fear grows. If you continue a little, fear stays small. Missing 1 day is normal. Missing 2 days creates stopping. If you miss a day, return immediately. Now let's talk about patience. Learning to speak English takes time. The brain needs repetition. It needs exposure. Progress is slow at first. You do not see it clearly, but your brain is changing. Connections are forming. One day, speaking feels easier. Not suddenly, gradually. Now let's talk about identity again.
This year, you are not someone who tries to learn English. You are someone who lives with English. English is part of your day, a few minutes every day. That is enough. Now let me say something very honest. You do not need talent. You do not need special ability. You need time and repetition and kindness to yourself. Being hard on yourself slows learning. Being gentle allows growth. So today, make one promise. Not to speak perfectly, not to speak fluently. Promise to speak imperfectly. Promise to make mistakes. Promise to continue. Fear will not disappear tomorrow, but it will get quieter, one sentence at a time.